Okay, share screen. This again, share. Right. So we are here. I'm gonna move everyone here. All right. The video is still processing, so you got to wait for that. But let's go. Right. So our second part of the lecture here is that we're gonna use two libraries to make our life better. The first one is like we're gonna use something called chalk to make our terminal a little bit colorful, right? To make our UI a little bit more beautiful. And after that, we're gonna use something called yarg, right? To make our life easier. For example, we don't have to do if else here. And yargs can do a lot of things. You will see. Okay. So now, right here, I only console logged a very simple things like they are on in black, right? So let's say I'm gonna add wake up at midnight, for example. Right. And now I want to see all the to-do list. Okay, it's undefined because there's no ID, so I'm gonna remove the ID here. The ID, where is it? Okay. Remove the ID. Okay. Again, as you can see here, it's very hard to read if they are all in black, right? Right now, I want to add more color to it. We can use a library called Chalk. Chalk is very popular. You can type in Chalk in here and find the exact match for Chalk. Okay, it was updated 11 days ago, and as you can see here, we have like 40 million download per week. And that's a very huge number. The reason why it's so like there's so many downloads per week is that because this library is included in other library as well. For example, React also use it, Node.js use it, other framework use it. That's why when people use those libraries, they also use this library as well. That's why you see the downloads so high like this for a single week. Shall we use only to decorate the terminal? Yeah, yeah. Terminal string styling done right. Yeah, just to style the terminal. The color decorate. Yeah, as you can see here, this just to style the terminal. Do you have to download for every project? You don't have to. Just this one. For other project, I think it's already included in your project. Yeah. This one you don't use any framework, so that's why you need to install Chalk. But for other project, if you already install a couple of libraries, I think the Chalk is already inside it, so you don't have to install Chalk. So now let's go and copy and install Chalk here. All right. There's one thing I want to say first. Don't copy this one. Don't blindly copy and paste this line. You should read the instruction here and copy this, because you run into some problems. You rarely run into problem, but you will if you copy and paste this line, this piece of code here. Remember, you have to do something like this: npm install JSON server. Without the -g, it will not work. So in the documentation, the library actually tell you to use -g here, but npm doesn't have that -g in their snippet here. So don't use this one. Go down, look at the documentation, copy this, and use it. All right. So now I'm going to install the chalk package. All right. All right. And this is how to use it. So just console log chalk.blue. This one is okay. G is something very special. It's like you can install it and then you can use it globally, like meaning in other project as well. So you don't want to install -g globally for every project. Just some of them you want to. For example, React. Uh, not more what you will learn tomorrow. So don't worry too much about -g. The library will say so in the documentations. Okay. So now this is how we use it. We need to import it. This is the syntax for import. I forgot to mention earlier, but const chalk equal to require chalk, right? So this is how we import in Node.js. You can also use, I don't know if you can use something like it, import chalk from chalk. This one is the import syntax for ES6. And I think before Node.js version 12, it doesn't allow you to use the ES6 syntax to import. And right now, I still think it's still in beta, but I'm not sure if you can do it. Let's try to do it. Right? So normally people import it like this. And if you import using this syntax, using ES6, it has to be on top. You cannot put it in the middle. That's a drawback. You cannot put it in the middle. You have to put it on top. The speed is the same, but there's a little bit different between the two importing syntax. This one you can import just one piece of the whole package, and this one you have to import the whole package. That's different. And let's see if does can work. Now I'm gonna console log to test it. Console log. How do I use it? Chalk, blue, hello world. Which one? Which one? Which one can? Right. Unexpected identifier. Yes, you cannot use it. What is this? Show me error. Can. Why do you see this error? So, what error is this? How do you encounter this? Say something. We will wait for Kan to answer her question. But if you want to use this syntax to import, you need to do some additional step. For example, how to use import assist import in Node. It's still in beta, and I don't think it's okay. You can use it. You will see something like that. And how do you use it? You need to do something here in your package.json, and you have to run it as a experimental modules, which is kind of like too much to use that syntax. I think it's not necessary to do on this step to just use a syntax. And another drawback is that if you use import from something, you have to put it on top, right? On top of everything else. But if you use the old syntax for like importing, you can put it anywhere. It doesn't matter. You can import this, and then you can do something, and then you can import chalk down here. It also works. Okay, that's a different. So right now, just go with the old way. All right, now we import chalk from the chalk package, and now we want to run the string hello world in blue. Let's see what happened here. All right, it does bring out the hello world in blue. And what if we want it to be in blue and in bold? So bold here and not blue. All right, it's in bold. Tell me, I think you changed something in your packet.json. I think you did change something. It should be an JSON object, like the keys name. The keys here had to be a string, have a double quotation mark. and the value as well. So everything has to be string, right? Make sure you have the packet notation correct. Okay, next, where are we? All right. So now instead of console log like this, we can do chalk dot bold dot blue, and then we wrap everything. All right. So I'm now gonna do not app.js, and I'm gonna list everything. All right. So they are on in blue, and how you format it, I will leave it to you, and you have to do it by yourself. I'm not gonna show you how to format it. Beautiful. It's your job. Right. So now we're done with this. And let's actually use yargs. Let's introduce YR. Go to npm.js.com, right? Type in yargs, click on it. So what is yargs here? It basically it's just a tool that will have you build interactive command line tools, right? And it has $43 million per week. Also, so many. So it's basically is a built-in library in other framework or libraries. So you can install it like this. So yeah, and if you want to, you can read the documentation here. There's a lot of them. It's very long. You can read it and how to use it if you are interested in this kind of tool. But for now, I already have prepared something for you like this. Okay, let's go back to the code. Now, instead of using something like this, let's say we can use Yap as right here. Const yargs equal require yargs. Right. So I'm gonna delete some of these. Clean up something. Yes. Yep. Not too long. We don't need this. Right. We don't need it as well. All right. So now we're gonna use yargs to make our life easier. We can do yargs. Uh, command. Command is a function. Inside a function, we will have an object, right? Because people who build this is like they are into object OOP, so they like to use object. That's why we need to use object as well, because that's how they define it. So the first properties is going to be command. This is the name of the command that we want to have here. For example, if we want the command is add, so we can add here add. So command add, it will do something. Command add, it will do something, and here's how we give it a description. Describe something. Ask some to do. This description for this command. Okay, the next step is you will have something called builder. It's a special tool. Basically, it include a lot of like the following arguments inside after this command. For example, if I do something like this, not .js, I want to add to do one, and then false, and then tomorrow, for example, it's the due date tomorrow, for example, tomorrow. Okay, so the builder will help us to read all of these arguments. That's what the builder for, right? It will help us read all of these. So for here, the first one, we're gonna have a to do body. Actually, it's a to do body, but let's call it to do. It's another object. Inside the object, we are gonna have another key called what is this called? Status, right? It's very hard to see you guys. So I'm gonna change. Okay, we have 16 people here. All right. So the first one is going to be to do. The second one is going to be status. It's very similar. This way it's easier to like structure and code, right? The first one, for example, is the deadline. If we have right now, I don't have it, so let's read. Don't worry about it. So inside to do arguments, we will have a couple of keys. Same thing. We describe the key name. So what's the key for? Content of our to do. Right. Content of our to do. The second one is there's something magical called the main option. So what are they? What is it? It's gonna be is it required or not? It means is it required or not? So for a to do, if we want to add a new to do, the body of the to do is required. So we have true here, right? Means if we don't provide a to do, the body of the content of to do, it will throw an error or it will alert you. Okay, your command is wrong. Try again, something like that. Okay. Oh shit. Comma here. Okay. The next property is the type of that argument, the value type of the argument. So for now, it's going to be a string. String here has to be a string as well. So you need to follow the syntax, the rules they provide. That's the drawback. If you want to use a library, you have to follow the rules. No question asked, right? If you want to live in the house or someone else, you have to follow the rules. That's why. All right, same thing here. We have another key as well. Describe it. The status, your to do, for example, and the main option. Is it required? It's not necessarily required because if the user doesn't provide any information about the status, it should be automatically be false. Yes. Okay. So it's not required. And if it's not required, we need a default value, right? We need a default value, which is false. Default value is false, and we need it to be. We need to define the data type of that as well. It's gonna be a boolean, right? To expect, right? All right. Any question about this part? The property name is quite clear, but it's hard to remember. Even for me, I don't remember because I don't use it as much. So I'm gonna go to the documentation and read something and then go here and copy and paste. Right? Any question about this part? We are defining a command line here. So if we have a command add, we will have a description. Okay, this command is going to add some to do for you. And following that command, there will be two arguments. The first one is going to be to do. The second one is going to be status. So yes. So is it the third one? No, two. Don't deceive me. Yeah, it's two. Okay. So to do is going to be number 3 here, and status is going to be number 4 here. So you don't have to memorize the order as the number here, and you don't have to else if is equal to something and to do is equal to something. You don't have to do all of that. If I had another key, it will be fine. Yes. And the amazing thing here is that you can actually, when you type in the command line, you can like tell the system, okay, this is the argument to do, and that is the argument status. The order doesn't matter, right? For example, the order here doesn't matter because we already have the name of the to do. Okay. All right. That's not enough. We have one last thing. It's called handler. As you can see here, handler is a function. It's gonna be a function, and that function is gonna be do something. Right now, I'm gonna just console log to do and status here. So let's call this R, and let's console log on the R side. Let's see what happened here. All right. Okay, now we have a command here. Let's comment out this. I don't want to see all of this. Right. We want to add some to do. All right. Not app.js add. The add here is the command here. Add, and then we define to do equal. Wake up. I'm so sleepy. Wake up. Okay. And the status is false. It's not. Make it true. Equal true. Let's see what happened here. I expect us to see the console log. No. What the hell? Right, something wrong there. Did I save it? Oh, one more last thing. We justify the command. We haven't like actually pass it into the terminal. So basically you have to do one more step, which is it's kind of like how we call it pass. Yeah, there's a lot of memorization. So again, run the command. Okay, we actually see the whole argument here, the whole object. All right. The whole object here. Inside the object, we have a couple of key properties. The first one is gonna be the command itself. The second one is to do. It's status. To do is wake up. Status is true, right? So now, what if I change the order? Oh, I change the order. For example, status equal to true, and then I delete everything. What happened? Same thing. The order changed, but the key is the same, right? Status equal true and to do equal wake up. So that way, the user doesn't have to memorize the order as well. The developer doesn't have to memorize the order. Just call the key. So what if I want to see the status and to do here only? I can do something like this: to do and then ask status, right? Again, run the command again. See what happened. Yep, wake up and true. That's what we want. Okay, to do it even more beautifully, we can use a restructuring syntax to do, and then this one is going to be status. Oh, no, not this one. I was wrong. Copy this, put in here. And then this one going to be to do, comma, status. Right? Again, run the code. Same thing. Right now, you successfully like capture the commands and the arguments using the command, right? So your next job is like to use this syntax. Okay, I will do it. It's so easy and just copy and paste. Right. So we're gonna add, right? We're gonna add copy, and then I'm gonna add this one. Add, and we're gonna add to do comma slash. All right. So let's see. Right now I have 3 to dos. Go have dinner, go to sleep, and then wake up at midnight. If I run the code, I expect to have one more to do, which is wake up, and the status is true. Oh shit, why do I call this one incomplete? So stupid. So this one is gonna be true. Let's change this. Let's directly change it inside our database, which is so weird, but you can do it too. Okay, if I run this command, I expect to see another to do, which is wake up, and the status is true. Yeah, here, format it. Wake up, and status is true. All right, that's good, right? So now Next, your job to do it. So just use your hand think a little bit of how to update the value of a single to do inside an array, right? I I suggest you guys to use ID. Use ID. It's much better than index. Trust me. In the backend side, you are gonna use ID. Don't use index. Okay. Any question about this? I think I lost someone again. Uh, Everyone's so quiet. Juris, Juris. I think I heard you saying that in the tutorial. Yeah, I said so as well because I want you guys to practice using ID, not index. Yes, yes. Did I say so or Bitna? I don't know. But I refer using ID because we are sure that the ID is unique. The index is not. The index change depend on the length of the array, right? All right. Any questions, Joris? Uh, Khải, Bảo, Bảo Bình. All right. Everyone sleeping? Not yet. So where are you now? Which part? You don't get it. But general confusion because you have to memorize too many things, right, at once. So let's go over again. Where are we? Right. So, so are you okay with the chalk package? It's very easy to use, right? The chalk package is easy to use. No. Why are you shaking your head? The chalk bucket is easy to use. You can actually customize the chalk a little bit because right now, so for example, if you use a chalk package, um, you have to use like this. Okay, you have to do console log, and then inside the console log, you need to do chalk.blue and then chalk.red.blue. That's going to be very long. You can make it shorter by having your own modules, and this is how I did it. I shortened it a little bit. Okay, he put it here already. Nice. All right. I think this one is the old. This one is the old one. We need to update it. Okay. Basically, we want to have less walkthrough, and we want you to do more thinking on your own. So basically, this is how I define a new class, and then inside that, instead of doing console log and then chalk.blue.bold and then the text, so right now you only have to do like this, chalk.blue and this, and you will have the same results. Let's see how it works. No, I'm not going to show you. I don't want to make you confused, but if you're a little bit more advanced, you can build something on your own like this. All right. That's about the chalk. Now the yards. So basically, you want to do something yards like this. You define the commands, right? You define the commands, and then you call those commands in the terminal using these two, define and then call it. Okay, and this is how you define it. This is an object. The whole thing is an object. Inside the object, you have a couple of properties. Command is the name of the command. It's right here. What you want to add here, I will do here. For example, if you want to add, you give it add here. If you want to say list, if you want to list, you can do list, right? If you want to add more, just copy and paste more. Copy and paste. For example, here I'm going to copy and paste, and this one to be list, and then this one is going to be list some to do, And then we don't really need the builder, but let's have the delete the builder because we just want to list something, right? There's no need for a builder yet. Okay. And this command list we do something. For example, I will do nothing here, just some arguments. And here I'm just gonna say, for example, I'm gonna call where is it? Low data. No, it's here. I'm gonna copy this part and put it in here. All right. So this function is gonna like read all the data from our database and then render it to the terminal. And let's see what happened. App.js and list. Okay, to do is not defined. Yes. Let to do and then status. Not this to. Oh shit. Okay, again. To do is not defined. What the hell? Let to do is what to do. It's right here. For now, let's come out this part. Right, and console log to do. See what happened here. Again, not app.js list. All right, it's throw an error somewhere, not here. On line where on 75. Oh shit! I fixed the wrong one. Oh my god, no! I paste in the wrong place. Oh god, so bad. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste here. Yeah, here. It should be here. Sorry. Still with me, copy and paste. That's the problem when you copy and paste. Always. Oh my god. Fix that. Okay, now run the command like again. List. Now you can actually see the list here using this yargs command, right? Hưng Nguyễn actually check it for me. Is it okay now? Is it a bit clearer to yours?
Koa,
Yep.
Can you explain a little bit about the terminal part, like what you write, like node app.js and then the following parts? So basically, that's where you are adding things to the JSON file, right? And that's where you're calling all the actions.
Oh, I did it so quickly, so you didn't catch that, right? Sorry.
I guess so.
So if you want to add something, here's how you type it. Run the files. This one is very basic, right? And the command add. And how do we know the command add? It's from here. It's where we define it right here. The command is add, and we want to pass in the following arguments here to do. So we can use hyphen to do equal answer to jurist, for example, jurist. Okay. Second is status. And copy and paste equal true because I'm done with the answer. Okay, press enter. What happened here? All right, see? Cool. So the syntax is this. I'm going to copy this and put it in here.
Okay, I do the same thing with you, but it doesn't add to the JSON. So I'm probably, you know, what could be the problem?
The problem is the first thing. Are you sure that you have a function called add to do or something that to do to add it? Yeah, or you just console log?
I have a function add to do, yes.
And you have to make sure that function does something, like console log that function. But this one is kind of like specific to you, so I will fix that for you. But Beside that, do you have any like confusion about it?
No specific questions. No.
All right.
Thanks.
So now
Thanks.
about others. Okay. Khải, Khải, Bảo, Bình. These people are kind of like quiet. Can I see the list command? The list command here. It's very simple because right now we don't have any argument after the list, right? So we don't need the builders. Just you do the handlers. For example, now there's a user story that require you to have a filter. For example, I want to see all the commands that we need to ask. Actually, we don't, but I'm gonna use it. So put it there. So the next step, what if I want to see all the to-dos that is completed? So how do I do that? Uh-huh. I just want to see the to-do that is completed. It's kind of you add the builder. Now you need the builder. Okay. In the builder, you will have same thing. I'm gonna copy and paste because no, copy and paste, but describe. For example, list status, to do status. No, wrong. Here we have to do status, and then inside the status is gonna be an object, and this one is another key called describe. Right. Okay. Another key is type. It has to be type. Type is not a string, it's a boolean. Boolean. And boolean has to be also a string here. And is it required or not? No, I don't think it's required. Why? Because if if the user doesn't type in startup equal true, it means startup equal false. So we don't need default. We don't need the require. Don't need it to be required. And then we also have default value equal to false, right? So now if the status is equal to false, we will filter it, right? We don't render everything. We render the to-do is not complete or complete, doesn't matter. Okay, so here we have args, and args gonna have one argument here, one property is called status. Can I will answer that question a little bit later. Okay, so now focus on this one. So we have something called status, and oh shit, we have two status here. That's so dangerous. I'm gonna call it differently. So how do I call this one? So instead of that, so let's call this as. So I want to make sure that we have two different status. We are not confused between those two. And so let up to do. If we can do an if else here. If status equal as status, then we can select, right? Let's see what happened here. Not app.js, and then I want to list, and I want to list on the to-dos that is done. Status equal true. Yeah, we only see the true. Only see the true to-dos, right? The completed to-dos. So what if I want to see all incomplete to-dos? So I don't need to do this. So here we see incomplete to-dos. Okay, here's come another problem. What if I want to see all of them? What if I want to see all of them? So this thing depends on your logic, right? So I have my logic had a little bit of like a shorthand here. It's a little bit short here. I missed one condition. I want to show all to dos. It doesn't matter completed or not, right? So we can have another key here. So let's think. Okay, so instead here, instead of a boolean, we can add one more key here. Let's see. Done, complete, and not. Okay. All right. So instead of true or false here, we can change it into a string. Default is false, and default is on, for example this, and then optional is default option true, no false. All right, default is on. If status dot r here. Okay, so if it's true, we do that. So here's the problem. Let's see what happened here. If I don't provide the argument, what do I see? I see nothing. Now I want to see something. If ask.status equal to all, we will show everything. Else, if something wrong here. All right. So if I don't provide any elements, it will show everything. Okay. Now if I want to see the I forgot the argument name. What is it? Status. Okay. Status equal to false. I want to show all the to-dos that is not complete. Right. Again, I want to show all to-do that is completed. True. Okay, clear. Right, I think it's kind of a little bit of thinking here, so I will let you have time to think on this. And back to the questions from can I see your database.json again? Your just object, not array. No, it's an array. It's an array here, right? Okay, it's an array. And all right, is it okay now? Any questions? So as is a common we type in Node.js as yes, and actually it's not enough. It's yes, but it's not 100% correct. We also describe we also define those argument names here. We need to define them here in order for yargs to understand the arguments in here. Okay. So if you put it to do's here without, so let's say I want to see on the command, let's say I want to run this console log ask here, right? So I have ask here, but I don't define the elements, and I just do something crazy equal true. Oh, they're actually crazy, but okay, my mistake. You can actually see crazy, but you don't see these beautiful things. For example, you don't see these stripe. You don't see and the type, the value type here is not fixed. Sometimes if you type in a string, it can be a string. If you can type a boolean, it can be a boolean. But if you have something like this inside the builder, it's very strict. If it doesn't fit the rules here, it will throw an error. For example, let's say true. This one is still true, but this one is going to be a string false. But all right, this one is so stupid. It still understands this as a boolean. But if I say something, oops, if I say something called haha, still, because it's a string. No, string. Okay, still string. But if I say something called, it's very hard to demonstrate. Okay, if I don't provide any commands, let's see what happened. Nothing happened. List, and if a list here doesn't, okay. Oh fuck, go app. Okay, here's where I make a mistake here. I don't provide any arguments after the add function, add command. It should throw me an error, but here it doesn't throw me an error. This is weird. I expect to have something like this. Not this one. I think I missed something. Oh, it's command line. Yeah, no, I want to show you something else. So basically, you should see something like this in the picture. It's very small, but you should see something like this. Kind of like information on how to use your program. You should have see something like that. I don't know why it's gone. It was there before. Let's take a look at the API here. So there's a lot of, okay, here. It will show you the following output if you didn't provide the appropriate arguments, right? It will show you the error and how you can use it. For example, some instruction here. So how do we run it? Options. Option a string if message. Okay. So here's another demand option and also have here. There's a lot of things you can use. I don't know why they make it so like has so many different versions or different method instead of using just one command. So right now we are using the command here, and we also need to have some help here. Let's see if we have help here. What happened? So how do I have help? Okay, help here. No, it's been here. Nothing doesn't work. Right, for some reason it doesn't work at anything at all. So I will take a look at this and go back to you later. That's weird. Okay, that's enough. Do you have any different questions? Any different like questions? This is very hard to read. This documentation is very hard to read because there are a lot of different methods to use, and you need to understand which one you are gonna use. So you also have something called alias here. If you have an alias, means for example, if I have an alias here, alias. Okay, so for example, art. Okay, so we can do something like this. A, just A, and then no. This one to do T. So I'm gonna add and then T equal go home, and then also this one is gonna be status equal to true. Okay, let's see. Oh shit, I add a lot of them before. I haven't saved, sorry. Save it and run again. Okay, same thing, we get the same results to do, and then the status equal to true. without actually have to type like hyphen hyphen and then to do equal. You can use a shortcut here, which is an alias. All right, is that right? So with these tools, you can build a lot of things. Right. So I'm gonna end this lecture here if no one asks any question. So quiet. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, if else. Yeah, I think it's the very basic step, right? So any questions? No. Okay, Young has some question in the handler. In the handler of list. Okay, handler of list. What is it, Young? Yes, use that function out. Yes, here. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. You can name it different. Awesome. Yeah, awesome does it still work. List. These are some faulty database data we got from here. Let's delete them. Yes. And then we need a comma here. Let's see what happened here. Okay, cool. So we go to have dinner to true and false one, right? Same thing. So basically here you define this variable as something you want. For example, define a pass what you receive from handler as awesome. Okay. So basically the handler will like it throw you something, it give you something, and you will call something by default. You don't have a name yet, so you're gonna call it awesome. It's how you use it in the callback. This one is a callback function. All right. I forgot to mention it is a callback function. It's good. Only GitHub link to add one. GitHub link to add one. Yes. Okay. You are supposed to submit your homework using your GitHub link. All right. And then you submit the link on the Airtable. But I want you guys to do something else. You you need to have a README file, right? The README file, the README MD, README.md, and that you need to like have a GIF image, and you show your application like this, like how I have here. Where is it? Here, right? Actually, on every project, on every GitHub you have, every Git you have, you need something like this, something like to show the reader. Okay, this is my app. This is how it looks like. You don't have to clone your code and then run everything, install everything, and then npm start to just to see how it looks, right? It takes a lot of time. And from this, I know that okay, this guy already done this, and then he's already finished his homework. So if I want to check his code, I can go and install it. Yeah, use Lightcap to make the GIF. Something called Lightcap. Uh, you can use Lightcap to record GIF like this. This is a GIF, right? And now if you ask me, I don't know how to do a README file. No, go back to week one, please. All right. Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna close one and let you guys finish your homework. Stop sharing.